So, the infamous, because infamous means more than famous, right?
I don't know that I would use that word.
According to, Three Amigos.
I would do the dance right now. But
there you go. You totally nailed it. Let's say.
they don't know.
Yeah, it's perfect. That was great.
I wouldn't say infamous, and I wouldn't even say well-known. The funny thing is that I can go to Walmart just like everybody else and not get recognized. Yeah. So how is that infamous? Or how is that celebrity?
Maybe they're just scared to approach you.
No. Or it's like someone refers to you as a celebrity, and you're just like, no. They're just like, Don Mattingly is a celebrity. Gretchen Irons is a personality.
Don Mattingly. That is true. That is very true. But even then, I don't think some people would actually go up to Don Mattingly here in town. So that's kind of weird.
Well, that's because they're afraid of him. They don't talk to me at Walmart because they have no clue who I am. I'm just some weird lady, and they're like, why does she have on 6-inch heels in Walmart? I just came from work.
They're one of the many curiosities at Walmart, let's be honest.
Yeah, but at least I'm on the other end of the scale where I'm not there in pajama pants and curlers.
You're bringing balance.
Yeah, even it out. Like they're in my dress and all my makeup from work and 6-inch heels pushing a grocery cart. It's okay. It's cool. I'm used to people looking at me strange. I am strange.
It is weird. Like I was walking down Fall Festival last night.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it was like, I think everyone from Evansville was out. It was weird. But like somebody's like, hey, Jason. And I look at him and I got that thing where I'm like,
I have
zero idea who this person is. And I'm like, hey, buddy. And
mine is introduce yourselves when I don't know somebody.
Oh, I totally do that.
I'm like, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, but I had no one. I'm like, I got, hey, how's it going? I got to go.
They see you on the internet, so they think they know you. And I mean, I'm used to that because I did stage and TV and radio my whole life. So I'm used to people walking up and being like, what's up? Your big tip off is when they use both names. So like when somebody comes up to my kids who are adults and they don't realize I have adult children, they're like, oh, Gretchen Irons, I hang out with her all the time. And my kids are like, first of all, I'm her kid and I've never seen you. And second of all, you just use both her names. Whereas a normal person would have just been like, I love Gretchen, I hang out with her.
Yeah, you're not.
Like, and P.S. my mom's probably asleep right now.
A two-name person is not usually the thing, right? No. Yeah.
Dead giveaway.
Right. So it's been a while.
It has. It was episode 3, and you're like in 200
so
now.
It's been.
You called me infamous, and now what you're telling me is that I was irrelevant for like a year.
No. Actually, I was a big thanks for when you came on, because after we were done talking, I remember you just like, you had all these business cards, you just threw them out on the table.
I did.
You're like, talk to this person, you need to talk to this person. So I was like, that's like most of my content.
That's what I'm good for, man.
So,
like I don't always remember who I know, but if you ask me for business cards, I can generally come up with about 40 of them out of my purse and be like, here you go.
Yeah, these are weird. I'm like, I don't know. I've not heard of any of these people. No. Yeah. Not all of them called me back or anything. But,
I just got really connected really fast, and some of it is because I've traveled around so much. It's my 14th city in my adult life, and some of it was just I got lucky and I met all, I don't want to say the right people, but all the best people for me in the beginning, like Amy, Heidi, and then Emily Gartner. She was the very first person I met.
Okay.
I mean, so you can imagine my impression of Evansville might have been completely different if I hadn't met Emily Gartner first at an event, and she's sitting there bragging about this city in this corner. And you have to realize Haney's Corner back then was not really anything. No. There was barely a corner store and Kirby's Private Dining. You know, that was it.
Right, yeah.
And I fell in love, and I credit her with that. I don't know that my experience would have been the same if I hadn't met people like her and other entrepreneurs that were, and Fred Hillenbrand, you know, great in the spirit. We love Evansville. It's a city on the verge. Come with us. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, those people that drag you along, whether you like it or not, kind of.
Well, just their passion for the city was something that affected me. I was like, you're seeing something and saying something that I'm not hearing from anyone else. But it's just a byproduct of growing up in a good city. You stop seeing it.
Yeah. And you're been here, what, 4 or 5 years?
4 years now.
Okay.
I know. I have to look back and think, and I'm just like, wow. Some people come up to me and they're like, oh, you've been here forever. You've been here for like 10 years. I remember you. And I'm like, no, no. But then I think back and I'm like, wow, this is the longest I've sat still in a long time. So that should tell you how I feel about this place.
Yeah, yeah. And 4 years, it seems like, is not very long yet. It feels like a long time.
I packed it full of a lot of good people and a lot of great experiences. So that's why people ask me, what are you doing for vacation? And I'm like, eat, drink, sleep, watch crappy TV, repeat. Yeah. Because I go places for a living. I get to have fun all the time. Yeah. So whenever I'm done and I'm off, I want to be 100% off. I just want to want to catch up on crappy stuff like Real Housewives stuff I would never like usually admit that I watch. But I'm like, it's because the editing is so good.
Sure, yeah.
The transitions are awesome.
You're researching.
Yeah. That's it. See, you got behind that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. It's like you're out, you literally have to be out all the time because of the job, but you're on in the morning super early. We were just talking, get up like 4 a.m, that kind of thing.
You should have seen the first 3 months I was there. I was a mess of anxiety and sensitivity and tears because people don't understand. You're on early morning live. You have to put all this stupid war paint on, have your hair like helmet hair, and be like, yay, everything's awesome, and work all day long. And then when do entertainment and events happen at night and on the weekends. So it's like you never have any time off. And I had to find this balance where I could be like, okay, I'm done editing. It's 12:30, 1 o'clock, which is also why I've gained weight because I don't go to the gym anymore. I'm like, I could go to the gym, answer a bunch of emails, promote somebody else, or I could sleep because I have to be somewhere at 5:30. And I've learned that I have to sleep. Eventually, I'll just crack.
Sleep's pretty good.
Yeah, I have to do it or I won't wake up in the morning, or I wake up with this feeling. I don't know if you've ever had this, but I wake up and I love my job. I made up my job, so of course I love it. Right. But I'll wake up with this feeling like, I hate my job. I don't want to do this. I wish I could just quit. And that's because I haven't gotten enough sleep. But like today, I woke up, sprinted out of the bed. I'm like, yes, it's 4 a.m. I'm going to kill it. Yeah. I'm going to do it today. I
still don't believe that. But
that's because you knew me back when I was staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's true.
And now I'm like, no, if you see me at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to work.
Right.
I'm not just now rolling to bed. It was one of the hardest adjustments, and I didn't think I was going to do it. But surprisingly, I have managed to do it. It just means I nap a lot.
Right. Well, yeah, I still fight the sleep, but once I'm in it, I'm good. I don't want to, but I'm still learning that lesson, I think. But yeah, I found out that like I try to do stuff just to keep up with what's going on, and then it gets exhausting, and I don't do probably a 50th of what you.
And do you feel guilty about it when you can't make something?
Oh, totally, yeah.
See, and that's I think what people don't understand, and then they're like, "Well, you didn't show up at my event." Well, I had 32 events to go to this week,
right?
And I was sick and decided that, you know what, it's better for me not to contage everyone at your event and not to be a sloppy mess and to stay at home and get the rest that I need to actually earn money to pay my bills. And so I still feel bad about it, but not as bad as I used to feel.
Right.
Because sometimes you gotta take care of yourself. No, if I could if I could clone myself a dozen times and I could go to every single event that was happening, I would do it in a heartbeat. Even though I don't work for the Courier and Press anymore, even if I'm not gonna video it for 44 News, I'm going to be there to support you and promote you and talk about on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, whatever I can do to make this be amazing, to show how great our city is.
Yeah. Now you're still doing the best day ever as well?
Yes, and just not as often. We're down to about one video a month, but the struggle is real between YouTube and Facebook.
Sure, yeah.
They've been in this big battle for they've been in this big battle for over 2 years, and so
right.
Taking time to produce these videos, to write them, direct them. I mean, it's not like we just grab a phone and go, oh, hey, we're just going to shoot something. No, we schedule, we write, I'm talking, when I say we, I mean Drew Beasley and I, my best friend and partner. And it's not easy. And so when you see a video pop up and it's hung around for 3 or 4 months and it still only has 100 and something views, the question is this Facebook and YouTube's fault, or is this because nobody liked this content? And that's kind of been like where we're at. I don't want to fill the internet full of worthless crap. Whenever somebody starts a new channel and it's just terrible, I'm like, why did you do that?
Right.
Nobody wants to see videos of your kid in the baby pool in the backyard. Like, it's not even farting or doing anything funny.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
So we don't want to do that. There's a lot of good stuff coming up and going to come out on the channel, but it's just we're more careful about what we put out there now because we do a lot on Facebook. I mean, we do a lot of straight to Facebook videos, and then 44 sells my personal Facebook. So 90% of what you see that I do live is, I didn't get paid for it, but they did.
Right.
So when you're putting out so many videos, you got to kind of be careful before people just go, oh man, that's the best day ever again. They're in my face. They're too much. They're all over the internet. I don't want that. I don't want you to feel like we're timeline trolls.
Gotcha.
I want you to feel like everything we say has relevance and is good content.
Yeah. It's tough to crack through the the chaos right now.
It's not easy, but I mean, you just keep plugging along, and we feel like we still have a lot of things to show you about how great Evansville is. Mm-hmm. We just are more particular about how we go about it, not who we show, but say we think something's going to do really well on Facebook.
Yeah.
We would rather do that for you than put it up on the YouTube channel and watch Facebook not put it out there and YouTube lie about how many views we have, because it's disappointing to the client, or the person, even if they're not paying us for it, but it's disappointing to them. Whereas, and it doesn't make, because they don't know the struggle. So they can look at the Facebook video and say that got 18,000 views. Yeah. And the YouTube video only got 300. You know what I mean? And you can explain all day long, add a zero, and this is what's going on, and send them articles. They don't care. The proof is in the pudding.
Right, yeah, people don't care. And it's like, there's a whole engagement level with certain things, and you're like...
Mm-hmm. Or there's a perfect time of day to put it out, and a perfect day.
Yeah, just because it's maybe looks like a less amount of people, those people are actually...
We're the ones that were engaged,
it's a whole
The
thing.
one good thing I can say is that, 85% of the time, a business will come to me, like say a restaurant on a Tuesday and say, your story aired on us today, and we had so much lunch crowd, we couldn't even handle it. Thank you so much. But... on the flip side, if I'm promoting myself, like my YouTube channel or, a show that I'm singing in or whatever, nobody's going to show up. It's weird. It's weird. Have you experienced that yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like if we do a live show and it's hard, not as many people will show, but it's like...
But if you're talking about someone else...
it's on. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody... I really still don't know what that is.
There's a little disconnect there. I'm still working on that one too. But
I just stopped promoting myself at all. I'm just I'm in the show at La Masca at 5:30, whatever, if you want to show up. Whatever.
I don't care. I don't care if you show up.
I mean, I do care because I want La Masca to get business, but I'm just
I definitely want people to show up.
Yeah, maybe I should just say Ray is there. Ray Major is awesome. Go watch him at Jive After 5, and then I just happen to show up. Yeah, just happen to be there.
Sorry, everybody. I'm here.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Ray and I know each other. It's just like this was an unexpected thing.
Sure. And why is your name on that poster over there?
I don't think my name has ever been. Okay. Oh, no, that's not. No, the last time it was. See? I actually kind of was like, you shouldn't have done that, Lamasco.
How dare you?
You'll learn.
Yeah. Oh, man. So going from YouTube to TV, difference.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference. Mm-hmm. I mean, is there anything that's surprised you, though, even though, because I know you expected there would be a difference.
Well, yeah, and you and our friends, so you know that I spent 7 months creating this job with 44, and they were really about it, and we were wanting me to be me. That was what they wanted. They didn't need another reporter or anchor or whatever. They wanted me personally, so... I was told several times that I was there to build a bridge between my YouTube style and the news. And I think it wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but it wasn't terribly difficult because I had such a great news director. Mm-hmm. And while I can make fun of him all day long and say he's older, he's from Posey County, blah, blah, blah. He knows what he's doing,
Sure.
And he's one of those great bosses that'll call you in and say, I know that you were trying to do this, but I think you forgot about this. Or maybe you should add some natural sound that would have given some depth to your story. So all of these things that I didn't know, he taught me in a very gentle, way. He wasn't, because you know how I am when people tell me what to do. I'm like, oh, I was going to do that, but now I'm not going to do it just because you told me to. I know.
Not happening now.
I'm so immature about that. But
everybody's got their style where they'll learn.
I've tried to change that for so long, and it's just never going to change. I'm like, I have to blow my nose. You better blow your nose. Nope, letting the snot run down my face now. You already told me to do it. I can't do it. Yeah. But so I've been treated really well there. They're very accepting of me. They help me out, give me opinions. When I, hit it out of the park, they let me know. And when I don't, they let me know too. So that's been a good thing. It hasn't been near as difficult as I thought it was going to be. But I will tell you, the first 3 months, I did cry a lot. But I was mostly tired. You know what I mean?
That's that adjustment to the schedule.
Well, and now, the things that I edit are generally a week out. So today, before I came here, I was finishing editing next Tuesday's story.
Yeah.
In the first 3 months, I was trying to play catch up all the time. I was having to shoot that day, figure out something to shoot that day to put out for tomorrow. And I wasn't near as fast at editing. It was taking me 5 and 6 hours to edit a 2-minute piece. And now it's like 2-3 hours. So I was struggling.
Yeah.
But some of it was just getting caught up, getting familiar with the job, making my own way, and doing what they told me to do, which was when you're breaking the mold and then somebody tells you to break the mold, it's harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's more difficult.
So.
You're like, I think I was already doing that. And now you're,
what?
I don't, can you tell me how to break the mold? Right. Can you give me specific instructions? Because I don't know. I'm doing the best I can here.
So, and there's water back there.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
I promised you water and didn't give you that. It's a good host of me. I'll learn what I'm doing when it might be about episode 250.
I never offer water at the station, so don't feel, but we don't have it. So unless you want to know the cooler.
You could offer it and say, I don't know. The interns, they didn't bring it in.
No, I just offer them a mic.
Well, there's that. I got some bourbon in the house if you need it.
Now, see, now you're speaking my language. Right. Now I know we're friends.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so you're still editing your own stuff then?
Yeah, which, when I first got hired there, that was the thing. I wasn't going to be shooting myself. I wasn't going to be editing myself. And then after 3 months and they got down to the point of hiring the person. He still works there. The guy that owns us just went, I think she's doing okay by herself. So I don't know if a lot of people will put Drew and I together, but Drew probably helps me shoot 1 day a week, and it's generally me. And I shoot with 3 different cameras now. It's not like it was just 8 months ago. So trying to storyboard and build a story and shoot it all from the right angle and make sure that I pay attention to everything is not very easy at all. I've gotten better at it, but there are times when I mess up just like everybody else, and I'll get in the editing room and be like, that mic messed up or ran out of batteries, and I didn't notice it because I'm not attached to the headphones and the camera. I'm actually in the shoot.
Yeah. So you're setting up the cameras and then going around.
And then shooting it, Which is why sometimes I make it a point. I'll take camera 2 and I'll put it, like say I'm at the Civic Theater and I'm shooting a sneak peek. I'll put camera 2 over to the side where you can see that it's just me by myself on the stage with the other camera, just to prove a point that I did all this by myself, and you could too with a little bit more effort. Someone told me when we were in Korea that I was doing too much work for too little reward. Why didn't I just use one camera like everybody else on the news does? And I went, because I don't want to.
Where's the fun in that?
Exactly, because I like the way that it looks, and they hired me to be different. I'm not here to, quote, just do my job. I'm here to excel at my job, to reach the next level. And when I reach the next level, I'll figure out what the next level is, and then the next level is. I mean, I don't always know what I'm doing or where I'm going, but I'm always trying to be better at what I'm doing. And I think some people, because they don't have any passion about their job, are just doing the job.
Yeah.
And so for me, there's a lot of passion. I want it to be awesome.
Yeah.
I hate editing.
Well, I don't know anybody that likes editing.
I know a lot of people that like it. They just don't want to do it for free for me.
Well, there's that. That may be the thing. Yeah, the video, just doing audios is what it is, but there's a whole complexity with video.
Well, and I think if you really love it, it shows. But if you're like me and you're just trying to get through it, so that for me is the hardest part of my job, which is another reason why I use 3 cameras and a lot of layers, so that way it is more difficult when I get into editing to, cut up 3 cameras, sync up sound and all that. But then I don't have to worry about having these slick transitions and all of that. I can go from camera to camera or take a time lapse with my phone. And I know I sound crazy because nobody on the news does this stuff, but that's what I bring to 44. And that's what I love about 44 is they let me do all this crazy stuff. They're like, take time lapses, do drone footage, do whatever you want. Make it look like a movie if you want. We don't care if you slap a bunch of layers on it. We don't care if you shot Opal Fly performing in Jasper and put your camera on infrared. We think that's cool. Nobody else does that. So I do it because I like how it looks. I wish I could do more, but then at the same point, I'm like, I will have to learn more.
Well, there's,
Nap, learn how to use Adobe After Effects. Nap, learn how to use Adobe After Effects. I mean, it's, you know me, it's not that big of a choice.
You just plug in the Matrix and you're good to go. Right?
I wish that Can you please find somebody to make that happen? Osmosis. Oh. I wish it was a real thing.
I know. I fall asleep to podcasts sometimes, but I'm still not any smarter. So
I fall asleep to lots of TV shows, and I'm not any better at it.
The Real Housewives or whatever, that might not.
Okay, well, I have been binging on the Mindy Project, so it's not all crap TV.
All right. Fair
Depending on what you think about the Mindy Project.
I've never seen it, so I'm not sure.
I do watch some nature documentaries, believe it or not. I have a degree in biology, and I love science, so I do watch.
Degree in biology.
I do watch nature documentaries, and I loved that show, Through the Wormhole.
Okay.
Remember that with Morgan Freeman? Yeah, it was like physics for dummies.
Yeah.
It was the most awesome thing in the world. But yeah, I love science.
Man, biology, huh?
See, everyone acts so surprised.
No,
and I was a straight A student all through high school and college.
I'm not surprised at that. I've known other biology majors, and they're never involved with anything with biology. So
I think...
I don't know what that means about the biology majors.
I was already a professional actor before I graduated from high school, and I knew that I was going to have a career. I mean, and it's feast or famine, but you make enough to survive through the lean months. And I went to college because I wanted to, and I picked biology because it was my favorite. I didn't think I was necessarily going to do a whole lot with it, but I was pre-med. And then I found out I had temporal lobe epilepsy halfway through my just biology major. My hands were shaking all the time, and I was like, well, I don't guess I'm going to be a doctor, but I like cutting into dead things and seeing how they work. So I'm just going to finish this up. And it was great when you're a mom, you can fix boo-boos, and when your kid is sick for real, or if they have pinworms, which is a real thing. So, that was a good thing. It was great background.
Wow.
Or when people come to me with weird factspiracies like the moon is flat and stuff, I can intellectually argue with them if I chose to argue.
I've never heard that one.
Oh my gosh.
The moon is flat.
Oh my gosh. Or we never landed there.
I've heard that one, sure.
It's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, we faked that totally. Well, I don't know why we would, but why not?
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to go
Flat
there.
Moon, that's a new one though. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, the Earth is flat as well.
I've heard that one too. So that's pretty cool.
See, and I haven't until like the last year or so, and I'm like, I just put my hands in front of my face. I'm like, get away from me with this. Get away from me with this.
Wow. So is anybody ever like the feedback from going from your YouTube show? Has you've been any like hardcore fans been mad that you're not doing the YouTube as much, or
no, they like it
because
and here's the thing, like they can see I post everything I do online when it comes to 44, so they don't have to have TV to see me. They can go to the website and watch it, see the embedded videos. And so at first it was kind of a weird shift. People are like, well, we don't know if you sold out to the man or what you did,
How dare you?
Yeah. And then when they finally started to tune in and watch, they were like, oh, you're the same Gretchen. Yeah. You're exactly the same. And I'm like, yeah, I had somebody at Walmart tell me today, and my friend Leanna that runs Annalise Bridal, that's a regular guest on my show, they'll tell me, like, I hear your voice from my bathroom or my bedroom, or I'm doing laundry, and I jump up and I come see you because I know that you're going to tell me something I didn't know about, and it's going to be fun, and you always seem excited about what you do. And I'm like, because I am. If I'm talking about it, I'm excited about it. I don't just... Well, it's Monday, I need something to talk about. Yeah. No. I used to have to slap bunt. I don't have to do that anymore. If it's not a home run, I don't want to do it. I want it to be something that you watch that you go, okay, now I want to take that class. Now I want to go learn how to paint. Or now I'm going to go to that art gallery. Or now I'm going to go eat at Yang Shabu Shabu or something like that, you know?
Yeah. What's the most like recent thing that you found out about that you've, like in Evansville, that you've like didn't know about that you're super excited about maybe?
Well, I don't know if I said I didn't know about it, but we just mentioned Shabu Shabu started teaching classes, which I think is just amazing.
I didn't know they were teaching classes.
Yeah, they've taught how to do dumplings twice, and coming up, they're teaching how to roll sushi, the actual way, the inside-out way that we know is very Americanized sushi.
Sure, yeah.
And so they're actually teaching you how to roll sushi, and I think that's really great. That's a good experience. Cool. Snickerdoodle Artists started doing their thing with Lamasco, camp, what is it? Sip and draw or paint and sip. I feel terrible that I can't remember the name of it right now. But
how dare you?
I know. I know, right?
Well,
sorry,
Andrea. Past your bedtime.
So yeah, it is past my bedtime. Sorry, Andrea. But there's a lot of stuff going on all the time, and I don't think I think most of everything that's going on I generally know about because people feel the need to tell me. Oh, did you know about this? And I'm like, no, I didn't, and thank you for telling me. But that's awesome. How did I not know about it? So generally, I know within a week or two of something happening.
Right. You almost at this point probably just kind of sense a disturbance in the force.
I do.
Like,
it's so funny it's funny that you said that because when we were in Korea for 2 weeks, I was like, I feel like there's a lot going on in Evansville that we're missing, and when we get back, I'm gonna have a million messages about it, and I did. As a matter of fact, mostly restaurants, which is why I'm getting so fat, eating on camera all the time. And people are just like, here, let us feed you. Come to our restaurant.
It's one of the great scams you're doing there.
I'm not trying to complain about it. No. I just need to find a way to get to the gym. My elliptical broke, so now I have to actually physically go to the gym, even though it's free too.
Yeah.
Like I said, nap gym.
Man, if you could work out while you
Evan
sleep.
Williams, Bob's Gym, Evan Williams, and my bed, and Bob's Gym. You see where my conundrum lies, my problem is?
That is a tough choice.
See?
Many of us have fallen to that one.
See? But eventually I'm going to have to do something because I can't afford new clothes.
Yeah, well.
But who's going to complain about eating the the best food, any kind you could ever imagine?
I mean, really the worst part of that is Buxton, right?
Which is why I don't invite him every time. Yeah. I knew you were going to start something between the two of us. Here's the funny thing. So behind the scenes, Drew can't stand Buxton. Which is funny because Drew and I agree on everything.
That's funny.
And Drew's like me. It's really rare to find someone that just rubs us raw.
Yeah.
But Drew's really passionate about what we do, and sometimes Brian's late. He's got other jobs. He's not getting paid to do this.
He does a lot of things. So.
He does, and he's not getting paid to do this. And sometimes he's not so great on camera. But that's what I'm there for. We have good chemistry together. Drew calls it boring cop, fun cop. Which I think sums it up. Sorry, Brian, but Brian's very informative. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he has the contact and I don't, and it's much easier for me to let him set it up. Sure. And we have a great time together. I mean, I absolutely adore Brian. I have had people come up to me and say, "You guys are the most unlikely friends," and I would have told you the same thing 3 years ago. But we did one event together 2 years ago, the gumbo cook-off, I think, as celebrity judges. Okay. And I just was like, you're so fun. You're so smart. Like, why does everybody think you're such a jerk? And then I saw why everybody thought why he was such a jerk. But I don't get that side of him at all. Yeah. And I think that we have a good time on camera, and I think people enjoy it.
That's fun. It's a good persona.
And he's not the only one I have on there. I have Craig Nelson from the Dapper Pig occasionally. Yeah. I've had Joe Kim from Gangnam Korean Barbecue. This last week, I had the actual owner, because he's a personal chef, Chef Adam Edwards, which he was so good that we stopped in the middle of filming, went Facebook Live, then stopped again, and I was like, we're doing 3 extra segments here.
Wow. Cooking
with Chef Adam Edwards, and we had the same experience with Andrew from Fresh by Jeans. Just amazing. So I don't normally talk to the owner or whatever. It's the food is the star of the show, but these guys were so captivating and informing and entertaining that I was like, man, I don't need a host. Like, you're good. Stay right here next to me.
That's good. Yeah, it's nice whenever the person's engaging. That's actually in charge of the...
It's not as easy. Yeah. Like, for me, it's easy to be on TV because I always have been, so I don't think about it. But I've now that I've been doing the news for so long, and I see how people come in and they're excited to promote themselves, but the second the camera comes on, they'll be chatty Cathys. They're just excited. They're upbeat. The camera comes on, and they just stop dead still. It's like Tharn, from Watership Down, that deer in the headlights look.
Oh, man.
And you can make them feel as comfortable, and that's a developed skill, make them feel comfortable. Shelby Coates is amazing at that. Yeah. Melissa is really good at that, too. I learned from watching them. But not everybody can do it. It's not easy. I think it's easy because I've always done it, and I've finally realized that it's not that way for everybody.
Oh, no. It's definitely a skill set.
It's like me trying to do chemistry. I got to pay real close attention, and I'm probably going to mess up a time or two.
Yeah, I'm not good at chemistry or being on TV, so I don't know.
How can you not be good at being on TV when you're good at doing this?
TV,
it's the same exact thing.
Not, though.
It is.
No, see, like, if I talk to people, I was like, close your eyes. And I'm more comfortable this way.
See, I feel like when I was on the radio, it was a lot harder because you can't see my face, so I'd have to be super expressive.
Yeah.
And on TV, you can see my face, so...
Naturally, I have a resting poker face. And
you are very low-key.
Yeah. So I've been called effectively disinterested on my...
burn!
No, I think she meant it as a compliment.
Doesn't sound like a compliment.
No, it's like, I like your interview style because you're, You're
just asking the questions.
I don't get too high or too low. I'm like, oh... Okay, it's a backwards compliment, if anything, but I'll take it. I'll take anything.
Yeah,
actually.
I would too.
But yeah,
I get backhanded compliments a lot. I just learned to ignore them and just be like, focus on the good part.
Okay, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So, you reinvented your style of your show. Like, I don't know how many times on the YouTube channel.
Oh, you know how I am. We switch it up.
Yeah, you got to switch it up,
Things work,
right?
and then they stop working, so you have no other choice than to switch it up.
When you say don't work, Are you looking at the numbers or are you just consensus like I'm bored with this, or
it's some of all of it. Okay. It's the numbers, which I've said, the YouTube numbers aren't accurate. It's sometimes when you go on your analytics and it's telling you that 5,000 people watched it, and then you go to the page and it says 300 people watched it. I mean, it's not true. Yeah, but that's what everybody sees. Crap, right. They're just looking at the numbers. Right. Sometimes it's the numbers. Sometimes it's a feeling after I watched it back a couple of times.
Sure.
And that's one thing. I'll still watch my 44 videos. That's the good thing about editing yourself. And I'll go back and watch our YouTube videos to see what we did 3 years ago, because I've lived so much, I've forgotten. And sometimes I find really great things in there, and I'm like, I forgot we did that. We should go back to that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's people telling me, I didn't really care for that.
Right.
I mean, rarely happens, but the morning show was one of those. Not Your Mama's Morning Show was my favorite thing that we ever did. Mm-hmm. And there were people that absolutely loved it, thought it was the greatest thing ever. And there were people that just were like, I don't get it. And we switched up the format for season 2 and still got the same thing. And I spent so much time on it and so much energy and money that it's on hiatus. It will eventually come back because we love it. Yeah. But apparently between the two of us, we haven't figured out exactly the right format.
Right.
It'll get there eventually, So if people don't like it, why spend your time doing it? Or if you feel like it doesn't, it's my product. So if I feel like, wow, that didn't really turn out the way I wanted, then I'm just not going to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always, I always wonder about that. Like mixing things up is always, because it's hard because you have an established audience and there's expectations.
But our audience expects us to switch it up. Yeah, I think so. I think
kind of set that tone.
Yeah, from day one, you know, and I do the same thing on 44. There are weeks when I don't do, for example, a Taste Tuesday because I feel like, and I know those are my most popular videos. People love food videos,
Sure, yeah.
But there'll be a time when I'm like, I've been doing this for 4 months. I'm tired of it, and it's getting stale to me. I'm not as excited about it anymore. So I can only imagine how the audience feels. So what I do is I'll go do something else for a little bit so that way you can miss that segment. Mm-hmm. And then when I feel like you've missed it, then I'll bring it back. And then I gauge the response from that. Oh, did you, before these were sitting at 600 views on the website and now they're sitting at 12,000. Well, that's because you missed it and you were excited. So there are things that I did at 44 when I first started that I haven't done in a while. I may go back to them, but they got stale and I could tell the audience was disinterested. I felt like I was phoning it in. I don't like that feeling. Right, like I said, I want to hit a home run every time. I mean, it's not possible in any way, shape, or form to hit a home run every single time. So you shouldn't feel bad when you don't. But if that's what you're going for every single time, that's what makes you feel good. When you know that you tried everything you could possibly do to hit a home run and it just ended up being a base hit, but at least you tried. At least that was your goal. That was your intent. And that's my intent every single time, especially when I'm focusing on someone like, interviewing you or Emily Gartner or, PJ Starks from Volume of Blood. I want to make sure that they're proud. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the viewers. I still kind of think in that commercial way. Is the person that I'm doing the story on, will they share it? Are they excited about it? Do they feel like I did their story justice at all? Or did they go, well, it's just another news story on me, big whoop. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned earlier Korea. I kind of let it slide for a second, but because I definitely wanted to bring it up.
I think I said So Grace just then because I was going to say So Great and So Amazing at the same time.
So Grace. It's Amazing Grace. That's what it is. How did that even come about?
Oh, my gosh. It's the funniest story. So Joseph Kim, the owner of Gangnam Korean Barbecue in Owensboro and here on Main Street, we've been friends with him from the get-go. I just think he's brilliant. I love his marketing style. I love his food. His wife is great. His kids are great. He makes me feel bad about my life. But he was going, and he was talking to the Board of Tourism over there about doing some different things. He wanted to do foodie videos, which is what he did while he was there, which is why we came back so fast, because I feel like we ate all the time. But he had sent them a couple of videos of things he had done, and 3 of those videos were with me. Mm-hmm. And they were like, hey, we want this girl to come, and she needs a photog. And I went to 44 and was like, it's not going to cost you a dime.
Yeah.
I want to go, and I need a photog. And they went, well, give us a day to think about it. I said, I had an hour, and I said yes. Well, that's pretty presumptive of you. And I'm like, well, I mean, I got 2 weeks vacation, and I'll do it for my YouTube channel.
Right.
So my idea here is I just brought you 2 weeks full of national content that you never would have gotten. And you can also then turn around and sell this to a sponsor and make money off of it. And then I saw all the lights go on. Ding, 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 ding. And then they decided, which I was really happy about this. They decided that they couldn't afford to have a photog go with me because, I mean, it was not vacation. They were paying my salary while I was there, and I was working very long days while I was there. So,
because you're still editing for stuff for here, right?
No, I got all that done before I left. But I actually, for the first time ever, I had Drew edit for me. This is what I was getting to. So when they came back with, we'll send a photog if we have to, but we would really rather not. My feeling was great because Drew's going to cry if he thinks he's not going to Korea.
Right.
But you're getting this free trip. You're going to have to edit. Like, we're going to be working such long days. I'm going to be on camera. I'm going to have to be scripting on the fly. I don't know exactly where we're going every day. I mean, the schedule changed every day. We go to bed at night, 11:30 at night. It's like, we're going to this place tomorrow, this place tomorrow, this place tomorrow. Cool. So Gretchen's Googling it in the middle of the night. No one have to get up at 6:30 in the morning, trying to figure it out, spend 2 hours doing that, get up the next morning. Oh, by the way, we all said we were leaving at 8 o'clock. Well, now we're not leaving till 12, and we're not going to any of the places we told you we were going. We're going to this place, and this place. So I knew it was going to be like that when I got over there. So I was like, dude, I love you, but you're going to have to edit. I'm not doing this. And plus, he was editing on a laptop, which, oh, man.
Yeah.
No. And 44 uses Edius, whereas I use Premiere Pro at my house, which is much more layered and easy program. So I just was like, if you want to go, this is to Korea, man, with your best friend. This is the trade-off. And he jumped at it.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun. We cried tears of joy. There were some nights where, we were overtired as well, but we would just cry and be like, this is so surreal. You don't, when you're working and shoot, it was like this, what we do here times a million. We go to these parties and everybody thinks we're having fun, but we're shooting, we're still working. I'm still having to think about it, so it's not the same as getting to actually just sit and experience. And Korea was like that times a million. So it was fun. And there were times when we'd fall asleep holding each other's hands because we had just had so much fun and just couldn't even process it. And I was like, oh my gosh, we got to do things today. We don't know anybody in this city aside from Joseph Kim who has done these things. It was legit. Wow. Like, we had a great time. And I hope that everyone enjoyed the stories. I've gotten some really great feedback on it.
Yeah.
The thing that was most surprising to me was before I left, and then even after I came back, people saying things like, oh, we were so worried for you. Why are you worried for me? It's South Korea.
Right.
It's South.
Well, sometimes Korea. Someone sends a rocket over.
Not over South Korea. They send it over to Guam and Japan.
Right. Well,
and
you never know.
So the most interesting thing is I already knew the answer to this question before I went over there. I've lived a lot of places, but I felt the need to ask people there. And we would stop people and I would ask them, they would talk to us, where are you from, America, what are you doing here? And I'd say, well, what do you think about North Korea? And they would, 99% of the time, well, we're more worried about your president than we are him. We've been living next to this for 69 years. We're used to it. He's going to shoot at you before he shoots at us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't surprising to me, but it's been surprising when I tell people here, and they're like, oh, really? I'm like, well, just imagine if you listened to a crazy person for almost 70 years, have been pointing weapons at you forever. I will say when we went to the DMZ, I don't know how to explain the feeling. It wasn't fear, cautious. It just was like, have you ever walked into your house and the door was unlocked? And you weren't necessarily scared, but you were like, okay, maybe I should kind of take it easy here. I don't know what I'm stepping into. It was that feeling miles before you even got to the gate. Miles, because all of a sudden on the left-hand side of the road is all these guardhouses and barbed wire, and it gets real somber. And it was kind of a spooky thing. I did not want to go. We got about 2 minutes away from the gate, and I was like, nope, I don't want to be here. Somebody's going to shoot me because I videoed the wrong thing or talked to. There's a lot of rules for the DMZ, like no dresses, no shorts, closed-toe shoes, no loud talking, so, and you know me and rules.
So you're like, and all of those things. You're like, check.
And also when you're looking to the left, you see all these enormous skyscrapers and stuff like it's a big city, but then you zoom in. It's a good thing about having a camera and not binoculars. There's nothing inside. It's not even drywalled. There's no plumbing, no nothing. So 20 years ago, they built these ghost cities just to prove to the world, hey, we're just as good as South Korea. I mean, it's crazy. It's just, is that nuts?
Yeah.
Can you imagine somebody doing that in America? Like, that is the nuttiest thing I've heard.
I think of one person doing that.
And I did have somebody, I just caught that.
Yeah. I
did have somebody correct me about I said something about, it being communist. And one of the radio personalities that I met over there that works for a Korean broadcasting station, KBS, said, no, it's a dictatorship. Don't get it wrong. You guys are always saying it's communism. It's not communism. This is a dictatorship. I was like, you know what? You're right. Fair enough. I remember my high school government class.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah, but no, it was legit. I highly recommend everyone go. I mean, there's been so many places in Europe that I've gone, but I cannot even tell you how breathtaking everywhere we went in Korea was. Just gorgeous. Green. They're very aesthetically conscious, so even the bridges were beautiful, and the cities, there's just art everywhere.
Yeah.
Busan has 3.5 million people, but when I was in Busan, I felt like I was in Evansville. It had that really funky, laid back, super nice. It was not like Seoul. Seoul is busy, bustling. People are yelling. They're not being rude. They're just like they're in a hurry.
It's a big city, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a huge city. But Busan, and it was like listed as one of the world's hippest cities, and now I know why. I could have stayed 30 days there and not been sad. Been super happy. I mean, I still was going to come back to Evansville. This is my love of my life, so I was going to come back, but I would have liked to hang out for like another month.
Right. That's bad. Is there something that was over there like that you could see happening over here that is something you liked? I'm always wondering like what can we bring in from something like a
the thing that I saw, and back to them being aesthetically conscious, like even the women and men all wear makeup. There's beauty shops on every corner, no joke. But they were that way about their environment. They have to worry about China and the huge ozone hole over there encroaching onto their country. So they've done things in the last decade to really fix that. And one of those things was when you're driving on the main highways, which are all toll roads, by the way. I did not care for that. But the roads are smooth and nice.
I guess,
You're in the middle of mountains or cities, things you want to see and look at. And there's these walls that are, like 20 feet up. And they look like really weird filters. And what they've done is they've put these filters inside these walls, and it cuts the noise pollution, it cuts the light pollution into the surrounding countryside or city, and then it cuts some of the pollution from the vehicles. So, and all their, when you're driving underneath a mountain through a tunnel, it's coated in those filters, and they regularly change them out. And I thought that was very interesting, something we might be able to implement.
Never even heard of that.
I hadn't either. I had to look them up. I had to ask Joe what they were, and then I was like, you're lying. That's not what they are. And then I looked them up, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know that we have the money for that here, but but I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, the sound would be, because I know that, if you live close to like the interstate or something.
It's totally different there. Totally different because they've put all these walls up. So it does kind of impede your driving experience. But then, I mean, you can look up above the walls. There's mountains everywhere. I mean, we went to that massive theme park and like one of the biggest wooden coasters in the world. And what is it sitting in front of? A giant green mountain. Like there's mountains everywhere.
It's gotta help.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. So I didn't know that country was that green. Did you?
No, I have very minimal knowledge.
Looks just like a postcard. If you Google it and you see the pictures, usually people just put the best pictures they can online. No, it's a postcard everywhere you go. And the people are so gorgeous. Like the food is so good. I don't know how these women are so skinny. But the women are so beautiful. They walk up next to me and I'm like stepping 10 feet away. Like, you are way too close. You just took my pretty level down lots of notches. Can you move over there? Go over there. Get away from the ugly American.
Did you have a lot of people like that were, as a curiosity, were you like as an American, you guys, or were they don't really,
so there's like a hierarchy there.
Okay.
And so it's the men, it's a very macho culture. And then you have round eye men, the Europeans or Americans, especially if they're fair skinned and fair eyed. Then you have the women, and at the lower level of the totem pole is white women. Well, I'm only half white, but round eyed women. And so the first couple of days, I thought it was strange that nobody spoke to me. They would speak to Drew. I couldn't get a cab. Do you know that's never, now I know how the other half lives. Never happened to me in my entire life. But this was just in Seoul though. If I backed up off the street and Drew didn't even have to put his hand up, he'd just walk out, there they were. Same person that had circled around 3 times and avoided me were picking up Drew. And so we finally asked a couple of people about it. And then the last day I was there, I did have a man that worked for AIG Insurance, South Korean, came up and talked to me for like 10 minutes. He was super nice. I wish it wasn't my last day. And he told me, and I don't know if he was just trying to, be nice or whatever, but he said the feeling is that American women talk too fast, walk too fast, think too fast. And so with limited English, it's very intimidating, which I was like, I don't know about all that. I think it was more like I'm on the low end of the totem pole. Yeah. But at least the people that were worried about getting kidnapped, I mean, that was a non-issue, apparently. Yeah, I'm not attractive there.
They're worried about Drew getting kidnapped.
Yeah. By day 2, I was like, maybe you should stick a little closer to me.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a total role reversal, which was great. I mean, it was nice to see. Like, I can say, I know how it feels to have a cab driver pass you up.
There you go. Bucket list.
No.
I guess. I don't know how that works. That's a weird bucket list you have.
It was.
But, so I just want to make sure you're still doing YouTube. I just want to clarify things.
Yes, we are still, and we still run the biggest calendar in the city.
Still run the calendar. Mm-hmm. So if you need to know stuff, which I still reference that thing.
The best day ever, Evansville.com. Yep. And I'm sorry our name is so long.
All the good names are taken. Try buy a domain.
No, I should have, Evansville, .co and .org weren't taken.
Yeah.
I was trying to stick with the YouTube name, and we named our YouTube channel, or right. I did after an episode of SpongeBob, and I thought I was being so clever until it came down to actually, I had never intended this to be a business. I had never, intended it to be as big as it was. Mm-hmm. So I just thought I was going to make a couple videos and make people happy and be like, Evansville's cool. Let's do this,
Right.
So when it came down to the name, I was just like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Oops. Yeah. Lesson learned. I know, you've been through this.
I've thought about that many times.
But you got smart. You said Evansville's podcast, so that's great. Like, it took me a year to go, we're Evansville's YouTube channel, and that's what we are. But it took me a year before I started saying that, and it was because you're like, well, I'm Evansville Podcast. I'm like, I should have named myself that.
Except the people was like, well, I don't know what the podcast is. that was the different.
Hey, dude, at least you're not emceeing in front of a huge audience, and you go, oh, I'm the entertainment insider at 44 News, and also the host of Evansville's YouTube channel. And people go, Evansville has a YouTube channel, and you just and you're right in front of them. Yeah, you're right in front of them, so you can't be. I just laugh and I go, yeah, funny. Imagine that. It's only been around for like 3 years. Won a leadership award. Nothing like.
I know, right? Yeah.
No big deal.
It's right over there.
No big deal.
Thanks for listening.
You have an app on your phone. Yeah. Like, search Evansville. It's right there.
It is funny. I wonder, and I'm like, if I were going somewhere, I would search. I mean, YouTube's the second biggest search engine, and podcasts are. I'm always going to look up podcasts, but I'm going to search that city's name,
and we pop right up.
So you pop right up.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And the funny thing is that maybe about 2 years ago, we noticed this big shift in our viewership, and it hurt my feelings at first, and then I realized that's what we were here for. So. We started out trying to convince Evansville that Evansville was a good town.
Yeah.
But really, we are promoting tourism and travel to here and moving here. And about 2 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer, we started noticing that we were going from about 76% of our fans being in Evansville, and now we're like 86% of our fans are outside of Evansville, and like 30% of them are outside of the country. So we'll get these weird messages on our page from somebody, over in Europe or even Africa. We have friends that are fans there that will say, we came into Indianapolis or St. Louis and we had a day trip or a weekend in Evansville and we hit this place, and this place because you told us about it. Thank you for the calendar. This was awesome. It was an amazing trip. Who knew Evansville, Indiana? So once that shift occurred and we got kind of used to it, I was like, okay, yeah, that is what we're here for. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's kind of a sad thing that, people that live here don't watch it, but then again, they'll just come up and ask me what I'm doing. So they don't need to watch a video, I guess. I feel like so many people have asked me about Korea and I'm like, did you watch any of the stories no, you didn't. You're just going to get it from me face to face. So I'm not upset about it.
Yeah. We'll figure this out one day.
Or we won't.
Or we won't.
We won't care. I'm sure you're like me. My sensitivity level to that kind of stuff has gotten really a lot lower.
Yeah, it
than it
depends
used
on the
to
day,
be.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It does depend on the day. But yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, nobody watched that, and I worked on that for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry over this. I've got too many things to do right now. Too many friends to support. So, and I'll forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah, but it is weird because like the awareness of you may be more than like an individual episode will get. So you'll get like people will be talking to you about because they know you're the person to go to for what's going on or whatever.
Sometimes I feel like I'm more relevant than other times. There are months at a time when I feel like nobody knows who I am and I haven't done anything important. And And then no, and that's on me. It's not that I'm like, oh, I'm not popular. It's I didn't do enough, you know. And then there's other months when I have people walk up and they're like, I'm not even friends with you on Facebook, and I know who you are because you're all over the internet. And I'm like, dang, you should not follow me on Snapchat. I post a lot on Snapchat. Yeah. That's what it's there for. I mean, that's what Snapchat is so amazing. I could post 20 times a day, whereas on Facebook, you see, if you go to my wall, I might post twice a week. Everything else is stuff people have tagged me in. So I don't want to be a timeline terrorist, but Snapchat, you got to basically see our entire Korea trip if you were on Snapchat.
Right, yeah.
Because it disappears in 24 hours. I'm just like, boop, that was fun. Sweet, we're at the airport.
More, you can be a little more...
Just like, you just toss it out in the world, and who cares where it lands.
I don't care, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care who sees it. And you don't have to see it if you don't want to. So the people that I follow, they pop up on Snapchat. I have to actually physically touch if I want to watch them. So
nope, don't care.
Yeah, so this way I don't feel like I'm terrorizing people or throwing it in their face and going, look how much fun I'm having and look how great my life is. No, I just wanted to throw that out there in the universe. And, if you watch it, you watch it. And if you don't, you don't. It's not like 44 or the YouTube channel. Watch those.
Yeah, I do care.
I do care. To reiterate, I do care about 44, my stories at 44, and all of our morning news and night news, and I do care about the best day ever, Evansville. But my Snapchat, there's a reason why you can't really find me on there either. And I don't promote my Snapchat name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like, you can find me organically, and if it's fun, it's fun, and if it's not, don't follow it.
It's Real Housewives of Evansville.
Dude, I want to do that show so badly. I've talked to so many people, and I think I told you this like 3 years ago. I have the perfect cast.
Yeah.
Here's why I haven't done it. I would piss so many people off. Once they saw how they acted on camera, it would be a wildly successful franchise. I know it would be. But people would be so mad at me. It's the only thing holding me back from it, man.
Yeah, maybe when you're ready to move on.
No, when I'm ready to make everybody mad at me.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm telling you, if you follow Drew and around, what you see on 44 and the best day ever is a drop in the bucket of what happens. And I've said this for 4 years. We just should be a reality show. The best stuff happens behind the scenes. The best stuff is when somebody at a restaurant, the owner comes out and talks to us, or the server comes out and tells us there's roaches in the kitchen, or somebody says, don't go to this certain party because there's going to be a shooting. And so we go. Like, this does happen. And so we go and we leave by 10:30 because we know the shooting's going to happen between 11 and 1. So it's those things that you don't see that happen, behind the scenes, or the crazy things that we do when we're by ourselves and we're not on camera. We're road tripping. We play this weird game we call cow points. We have all these best friend things that we do. And we show them on Snapchat, and people have said to me, they're like, that's my favorite stuff is the behind the scenes stuff that you guys do. We're like, we have to kind of tone it down. For then we can 44 lets me be a little wild and strange and crazy, but there's but I still have to kind of dial it back like 5 notches. Yeah.
0.7% or 0.7 whatever,
Run the dial down and be like,
All right, well, let's meet back up in about 250 episodes and
that's more than the 200 and something. Way to make me feel relevant.
You just gave me too many business cards that first time, and I'm just not getting through.
I got a whole handful for you again.
Oh, gosh.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. But thanks for coming over and catching up.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's been too long. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, we should.
That. And we can make fun of people like Malcolm and
No, I don't want to make fun of anybody. Brian Buxton, don't be mad at me. I love you so much.
We can make fun of Buxton. He's okay.
Okay.
He's pretty thick-skinned.
Well, and he knows it's all done with love. Yeah. It's all about love. It is on my end. Okay. Maybe not on your end, but it is on my end. And plus, he's just too easy to make fun of.
Yeah, there's that. I do feel bad every once in a while.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Oh, wow. We'll see if that makes it.
Right. Cut all the Brian parts out.
Yeah. That'd probably make him madder.
That was a straight up guffaw.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right, bye. You have the best day ever.
Good job, everybody.